Hey everyone, Necrovari is back with another video of Elite Dangerous. In this video we're going to take a look at becoming a smuggler. Now, in the previous video we talked about getting the hauler and doing some beginning passenger missions. By now I'm assuming you have made some money and have upgraded your ship and maybe am looking for a different career path. Now, full disclaimer, smuggling at a low level doesn't really get you a ton of money, but this build and this guide isn't about making tons and tons of money. It's about having fun. That's what Elite Dangerous is. So whether you want to make a ton of money and learn how to start early and then continue on into the late game and make more, or if you just want to roleplay as a smuggler, you know, good old Han Solo, this guide's for you. As you can see, we are in Vinci Station still. I've become very friendly with this station. It's in Kamine, I think is how you say that. I apologize if I mispronounce that. Let's take a look at what we have. We're going to go over the build first, and then I'll kind of give you a rundown of how and what to do. And we are back here in the Joker of the Void. I did change the name of it to the Queen Anne, just because it felt like a good smuggling ship name. But it is the basic hauler. We're going to go over real quick with this. We're going to start with our core internals. Everything here has stayed the same. 2A thrusters is a must, 2A frameshift drive is a must, and a power distributor is a must as well. You can keep everything at a D rating, including your power plant, unless you need more power for weapons, which you won't, but if you feel the need to do so, that's fine. Moving on to optional internals, this is where things have changed. Now, if you have been doing passenger missions from the previous video, which, by the way, if you haven't checked that out, I will link it in the comments below. Definitely check that out. It's on my channel, and it's a great guide, I feel. I've gotten some good feedback on it, so that's kind of why I'm making some more. Anyways, we've taken the business class and the economy class, and I have stored them in the station. You can store modules, which, when I started this game, you could not do that. And it's imperative if you want to continue doing passenger missions in the hauler until you rack up some more money, until you can get like maybe a dolphin or you know, whatever to be a better passenger ship. Store those for now. You don't need to sell them off unless you're really hard up for cash. I, for one, am not hard up for cash, so it doesn't really matter. But you're going to take those out. You're going to take the fuel scoop out if you had one in there. You're going to keep the 1C bi-weave shield generator. That's fine. And you're going to load up on cargo racks. This gives us a total of 20 tons of cargo, which early game is enough to make some money. You can modify this however you feel, but you want to go for fast, light, and the most cargo you can possibly hold. I mean, that's what a smuggler is. So this is my recommendation. Change it up as you need, but here it is. Going into utility mounts, we're going to keep this the same. A heatsink launcher is imperative to have. You can actually outfit 2 heatsink launchers if you really want to, just because you will be flying around a lot and you are probably going to need them. I like a heatsink launcher as well as a point defense because cargo is precious and I don't want to be losing no cargo, so that's why I keep a point defense to help stop those limpets from being fired at me. And I think it shoots down missiles as well, so your mileage may vary on that. Do what you need to do, but a heatsink launcher is an absolute must. And then last but not least, the hard point I have on here, it's not that amazing. It's a mine launcher. I don't need anything for dogfighting. I don't need anything for people to say back off with. I'm going to be running if somebody's coming after me. And if I'm running, I'm going to drop some mines. So, you have your ship outfitted. What do you do? Where do you start? Well, first off, you're going to want to start by figuring out what you want to do. There's 2 types of ways to smuggle. Number 1 is through missions. Now, unfortunately at this station we don't have any smuggling missions. Normally it would say illegal, I'm trying to remember how it says it, but it says illegal transport of some sort, and it's you get them mostly from Anarchy Systems, I believe. I haven't seen one in a very long time. I don't know where they went. Maybe I'm just going to the wrong spots because I don't dock at outposts anymore. But I wasn't seeing any in here the first time I went through it. These are illegal black box, no. Sources, no. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here, so that is one way to do smuggling, is to take a mission from like a pirate faction or whatever, smuggle that way. You make some decent money on it. The other way to smuggle is through commodities. Now, there are certain things in every station that are prohibited. Let's take a look at the galaxy map. Actually, you know, let's go to system map, pardon me. So, in the system that we're at, I am in this station right here. And if you go here, you can click on the set of 4 lines up top, target that, and it'll tell you everything about it. So it'll tell you the faction that it is, anything about the government that's in there, what state it's in, what relationship I have, which is cordial, which is good, any stored ships, and anything else. And with this, if you scroll down, it'll tell you the trade data, and this is what we want to see. So, imports and exports, don't worry about that right now. We're not trading, we're smuggling. It's different. Prohibited, that's what we want to look at. So in this station, nerve agents, combat stabilizers, narcotics, tobacco, bootleg liquor, personal weapons, battle weapons, landmines, imp slaves, imperial, slaves, regular slaves, and toxic waste. These are all prohibited in this station. These are the things that we want to find and we want to bring back. Side note, every station has prohibited items, and the only way you're going to make money on this is if you have a black market available. Certain stations don't, so keep that in the back of your head. You need to be quick, you need to be lightweight, you need to have a ton of cargo space that you can, and you need a black market. Those are the basics for being a smuggler. So in this case, I've already kind of done a run like this once. Landmines is what we're going to go for. Now, landmines can be found on planetary bases, so you will have to have horizons to do this. You can do any of these, but I find that, landmines and imperial slaves as well as regular slaves make the most money, but I found the station closest to me with landmines was probably the best. Your mileage may vary. I may have not done my research all the way, so maybe I'm missing something, but I'm going to go with landmines for this play. The landmines that I found, and I will tell you how I found these commodities very shortly, are in, and I've actually bookmarked it. Bookmarking is a great idea to do. It's in HIP 42455. And if we look at that map, which I was there once already, it's actually quite a ways away from the main star. So there is some travel involved here. And people will bring up how, you're not making enough credits per hour, or it's not worth it because of credits per jump. You know what? If you're playing this game to just make it into a business, that's fine. Do that. But if you're playing this game to have fun, disregard that. Don't listen to that. Play the game to have fun. Play the game to roleplay. Play the game as it is a game. Right? Anyways. The place that we found, I'm trying to remember where it was. Yes, right here. Muho Depot. Muho Depot. Can't say that for some reason. These guys manufacture it. They're a military base. So they manufacture landmines, which is super awesome, and that is what we are going to go get, is landmines. So how did I find this information? Did I scour the galaxy for it? Did I ask a friend? Well, I went to a website. There's a website, it's EDDB, so Echo Delta Delta Bravo, and you can go to a commodities tab. If you type in any commodity in Elite Dangerous and then put the word Elite Dangerous after it, this normally comes up. And it tells you all about this. Commodity landmines, it'll tell you the average price, the minimum price, and it'll allow you to put in the system that you're in and search. Now on this one, because it is landmines, you do have to say yes, planetary landings are included, so it'll find it for you. It'll tell you the distance from the main star. It'll tell you how many light years jump. It gives you a good overview of the system itself. The only thing it can't really guarantee is if the commodity is actually as accurate as it says it is. It's updated at certain times, so it's not always pinpoint accurate with prices and stuff, but with this, you're pretty safe as long as they have a high supply of it. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna travel there. I'm just gonna jump over there myself, and I'll show you what it looks like on the planet's surface. All right, so we're here at the planet. Muho Depot is right there, and as you can tell, I'm coming in kind of steep. I don't like coming in this steep, and we're pretty close to the station already. So we just hit our glide area. We might have to just tip up here so I don't crash into the planet, which we're gonna have to, and then we're gonna kill engines just so we don't come plummeting to the surface here. Here we are, Muho Depot, and we are going to
Zorgon Peterson, November Echo Charlie.
Yeah.
Restrict your speed when approaching this surface port, Commander.
Now, these guys are pretty far away from the main star, so it took me a while to get here. Again, your mileage may vary. It all depends on which way you go, what you choose to do. So find a good route, and just be prepared that if you do have to go somewhere, it may be far away from the main star, and you may have a little bit of a trek, but you know, there's always podcasts to listen to, right? Another thing I want to note, and I don't think I touched on this earlier, was when you're flying like this.
Take note of
Oh, shut up. When you're flying like this, you want to, you don't need to be silent when you're empty. Remember that heatsink launcher? Oh man, that's a gorgeous view, look at that. Remember that heatsink launcher we talked about? That's going to be used when you're coming back. So when you're empty, you're perfectly legal, you're fine. You don't need to worry about, you know, being scanned and stuff like that. It's only when you're carrying this cargo that you really, really need to worry. So like right now, I really don't care. I got nothing. He can scan me as much as he wants. That's the whole role of a smuggler, is to look innocent when you are, and then to get away when you're not. Let's get my landing gear out here.
landing gear not deployed.
And let's do a nice little touchdown here. There we go. Okay. So we are here at Muhat Depot. We are going to go into Starport Services, and we're going to go into commodities from there. And you'll see this is a military market, which is fantastic. So they sell a bunch of military stuff. We're going to go all the way to the bottom. And again, depending on what is around your area and what you find and what you choose, your mileage is going to vary. So here is our landmines right there. We're going to grab that and we are going to load up full on that. Now this requires money. 75,700 credits for it. I have that. We'll submit that. That's fine. Perfectly legal in this place. And I know, because I've done this run once before, we are going to make a little bit of money off of it. So let's grab that.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Beautiful. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting. This is where the fun comes in. You can see we have 20 in our hold there. We need to plot our route back to home station here. And we have one extra jump this time because of the laden jump factor, because we're fully loaded, which should show me right here. I have a jump range effective of 15.49. Now, also side note, I did this in a Sidewinder first to see if it was even viable, and as you can see, the refuel option is not available at this station, so I got stuck somewhere. So like I said, remember when I was looking at the optional internals, you can change that out. You can add a fuel scoop if you have to go a further distance, but just make sure you take out your cargo rack that has the least amount of cargo space. That would be your class 2, I believe, which has 4. That will bring down your cargo, but at least you'll be able to fuel scoop so you won't get stuck like an idiot like me and have to call the fuel rats. But, I mean, the fuel rats are awesome, so shout out to them. Thank you for saving my butt. Anyways, let's get going back. We should have enough fuel to make the jumps back. We are going to go, and I will see you back at the station, and I will show you how to get in the station, my way at least, without getting caught. Okay, we are back in our home system. We're going to target the area we are going to. We're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do here. Now, before you get into this, before you start, I'm actually going to kill the engine, and I'm just going to go into the escape menu real quick. We're going to go to options. I'm just going to make sure that you guys see this as well. Go to controls, and is it cooling? You want to go to cooling and make sure that you have a button mapped to both silent running and deploy heatsink. Those are imperative in what we are about to do, because the system's security scans you if you go into a station too fast. If you look suspicious, they scan you, and you want to make sure that you either that you have under 20% of heat, or as cold as you could possibly get, because we will go in silent running and we're going to be dropping heat sinks because we are getting in there fast and like just so nobody can scan us. If you get scanned with illicit cargo, you get fined, and that's money out of your pocket, and that's not what you want, and that can lead to a lot of hardships later on. So we are going to be smooth, fast, and cool, or cold, or whatever. So we're going to come up to the station here. The other thing you want to do is you want to look at the station. So in the lower right, or left, pardon me, by the where it says shipping lane, you can see the 3D readout of the station, and I'm rotating around. You can see there, that's where the mail slot is on the top right. You see that on there, that little square? So we need to position ourselves so we can get lined up with that slot. We don't want to end up on the back side of it, because if we end up on the back side of the station, we're going to have a higher chance of getting scanned because we're spending more time out in the open. we don't want to do that. So we're going to come over this way, over to the right of it, and we're going to be turning left into it to help line up with that mail slot. That's what they call it, the mail slot, which makes sense because it looks like a mail slot. We're going to try to get as lined up as possible. We're going to get real close here. At the last minute, cut in so that we can face it. And this may take some practice. It's not always, it wasn't easy for me when I first started because I guess I didn't really understand. And some people had the understanding that as long as you were coming between the planet and the station, you were fine, which is not the case. But right now, we should be able to cut in, and you can see the hologram rotate. We are now lined up with that slot as best as we can get, almost dead on, it looks like. And then we're going to increase, and we are going to drop in as soon as we get there. Side note, also, if you look in the right-hand side, I'm almost out of fuel. So, like I said, you really need to watch your fuel on these runs. The hauler is okay. It has 4 tons of fuel. It's not bad, but it eats through it on these jumps. So if you have a way to find a lesser jump distance that you have to go, again, your mileage is going to vary, but always keep a look on that fuel and always make sure that you know you can hit a station or drop some cargo for a fuel scoop. I like to run it dangerously just because I like the thrill of it. And if you do ever get stuck, go to Google, type in Fuel Rats, F-U-E-L, Fuel Rats. They're dedicated players on Elite Dangerous. You can send up the rat signal. They get a person to you with fuel, and they refuel you. They teach you some stuff, and they get you where you're going to go. So, awesome community there. Anyways, we are in here. Let's get started. We are going to accelerate. We are going to get within 7.5 kilometers of the station. We're going to line up the best we can.
Peterson, November Echo Charlie. This is Federal Flight Control. You're clear for approach.
We are going to request docking. And as soon as we get approval, we're going to go silent.
For access, your assigned landing pad.
Our shields are going to go down. We are going to hit it fast. We are going to accelerate as fast as we can towards this mail slot. And as I said, on the left side of the radar there, you can see I'm climbing up in heat. I'm going to nail V, which is my key mapped to it. It's going to deploy heat sink.
We've lost your heat signature, Commander. Please acknowledge if you require it.
And as soon as we get in the mail slot, just like that, kill your silent running.
Thermal signatures.
There we go. Now your shields are going to be down, so you got to make sure you land nicely. Let's deploy our landing gear. We're going to put all pips back in the system so it replenishes a little bit faster if it can. And then we are going to land. Gently. You don't want to be having to take hull damage here. It's not worth it. We've got in without being scanned, and that's why we want to line up. We want it quick and fast without any problems. So we've landed at the station.
Solid contact. Power down your engine.
Let's go to the starport and see how much money we made. Again, I can't stress this enough, your mileage will vary. So I'm not going to factor in restocking heat sinks. I'm not going to factor in fuel or anything like that. We're going to go straight to contacts. We're going to go to the black market. There it is. 20 landmines selling at 5,976, so about 6,000, which is more than what we bought them for. And as you can see on the readout here, we have 20 which are legal. We bought at 3,785 credits per item, which selling back gives us a profit of 43,860. Is that the most amazing money? No. Can it be more? Yes. Now, another thing I want to note here, by smuggling and utilizing the black market, any minor faction that you may be friendly with in the station, let's go to the mission board, any of these minor factions, this decreases friendliness with them from what I understand. I know I'm not really explaining it very well, I apologize, but continuing to smuggle things like that can lead to states of civil unrest, I believe, or, lockdown, which means more security, which means it's harder for you, which means that's probably not a good idea. So if you are friendly with a station like I am with this station, and you don't want to lose that friendship, don't smuggle there. However, if there's a station that you absolutely hate, or a faction you cannot stand, Adele's Armada, smuggle there. As long as they have a black market, you can do that, and do it well, and you'll make money, and you'll cause some chaos. So that's kind of where it is. If I forgot to address something or if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below and I'll try to find out the answer no matter what, because I'm here to help people. I was once a new player and it's never fun if you don't know what you're doing, and it's good to have people around. Also, if you are in Elite Dangerous on the PC version and you want to hang out or talk to me or whatever, Necrovarius is my name. Feel free to add me as a friend, and I will, as long as I'm on, I will add you in, and who knows, maybe someday we can wing up and have some fun. So with that, that is Smuggling 101 from me, Necrovarius. Again, it's not a complete guide, but I hope you did learn something from it, and let me know how it works for you in the comments below as well. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.